Hey, my collective. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to the channel, my subscribers, my loyal healing subscribers. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome in, cross watchers. Anybody who's thinking about healing their shadow, healing their childhood trauma, going through a dark night of the soul. Welcome all here to this channel. If you're here to get some advice on how to clear some of those blockages that have kept you from being prosperous, that have kept you from true internal peace, happiness, joy, love, then you are in the right place. Welcome, everyone. So, you guys, this is Shadow Work Series Part 1, but as you can see, I'm going to do something different, collective, okay? I'm actually going to pull a 5-card spread because I want to know what the overall story is of the collective. I want to know what the general energy of trauma that you guys have been facing so that I can actually give you the bigger picture. This is what this is called, the bigger picture of your shadow. So let's start with the 5 cards that are needed for this message. So I'm going to pick them intuitively. Let's split the deck, spread. The first card out is the center of the spread. This is going to be the present moment. Okay. The Raven. The Creative. This is past influence. Present. Future. The Snake. The reason behind the center card, which is central to this message, the inner child. And the last card is the triggers. So let's read the message, collective. What is the shadow work collective message? What is the story for the collective? Let's make sure you guys can see all of these here. There we go. So as you can see, collective, the center of the spread, we have the Raven. This is the present moment for the collective. This is the general energy of the collective. This here is your past energy, the creative. We have future, the snake. We have the reason that you're in the present energy and why we are asking the question of the energy of the shadow of the collective, the inner child, and the triggers, the dancer. So the collective, this particular oracle deck, I really like because it is split into groups. Okay. It is split into 4 suits: the natural world, which is about animals, nature, the moon, and the stars, which all have much to teach us. These cards are about releasing your wild and unruly side in a good way. Then we have the dream world suit. What lies in the subconscious often comes to light in dreams. What you dream can what you dream can give you clues and symbols that will help you understand your shadow side. Okay. Then we have suit called the imagined world. Fairy tales, myths, legends, and folklore are populated by archetypes and life lessons which resonate with your shadow. And then we have the invisible world suit. Hurtful experiences in childhood can linger unseen in the subconscious, but manifest in behaviors and emotions in adult life. These are the cards to help you process them. So I will tell you what suit each of these cards lie in first. So the first one that came out, which is the center of our spread, which is the present moment, is the Raven. The Raven falls under the suit that is associated with the natural world. Okay. The second one that came out is the creative. This is your past energy. The creative card falls under the invisible world. Then we have your future energy, the snake. The snake falls under the natural world. Then we have the inner child, which is the reason why the shadow exists. The inner child card falls under the invisible world. And then we have the dancer. The dancer falls under the imagined world. So keep those in mind as I read their meanings. So let's start with the present, the Raven. So this is your present moment. The Raven asks, what are you afraid of, collective? Don't fear the Raven. Its pitch black feathers, hollow croak, and sharp beak may lend it an ominous presence, but look into its glittering eyes and you will see wisdom and intelligence. Many indigenous cultures revere this resourceful and clever member of the corvid family, which travels in flocks and feeds on carrion. It is viewed as a symbol of death, rebirth, and transformation. This is your present moment as you do your shadow work, collective. So the Raven card makes sense to where you are right now, especially if you're listening to this message. The Raven appears in much folklore, art, and literature, often as a forbidding presence. In the folk song, The Three Ravens, the trio of birds are deprived of feasting on the body of a dead knight by his loyal hawks and hounds who guard him. The raven also scavenges on dead bodies post-battle in Welsh mythology, where it is seen as a messenger between this world and the next. In Scottish myths, it is associated with second sight, and ravens preside over mirrors and scrying tools in witchcraft. Historically, witches are believed to shape-shift into ravens, and King Arthur was said to live on embodied in raven form. Maybe for these reasons, it is considered unlucky to shoot one. So when the raven comes out, collective, you say, when I have anxious thoughts, I channel the fearless spirit of the raven to challenge them. The raven, with its ancient wisdom and intuitive guidance, can help you navigate a path that may feel alarming. Giving yourself permission to be scared lets you move through those fears and let them go. So, this is a beautiful first card for the collective, and it makes so much sense, especially if you are my collective, especially if you are doing your shadow work. The raven is here to support you, and it allows you to have those feelings of anxiousness, of fear, but it is supporting you at the same time. It is helping you to become a channel for a freeless spirit, to be able to face those fears and eventually let them go. The raven is about death, rebirth, and transformation. This is exactly the process that you go through, collective, when you are going through your transformation. So you are connecting with the raven in the present moment if you are going through your healing process. Then we have the creative. The invisible world. And this is your past energy, collective. The creative asks, what gave you joy as a child? Great question, especially for past energy. Carl Jung called the shadow the seat of creativity because it contains our hidden, untapped potential. As children, most of us expressed our creativity in many joyful ways, from building sandcastles to drawing and painting. As we grew older, creativity and playfulness slipped through our grasp as doubts about our abilities crept in, or practical concerns like earning a living or raising a family took over. Facing the shadow self can give you access to those parts of yourself that you shut down as you got older for whatever reason. One way to release and express these shadow feelings is to master an art or a craft that you feel is out of reach. The process will likely be emotionally arduous and could bring up buried trauma or past discouragements, but it will be worth it, collective. The result will be lasting transformation and a new skill and a deep sense of accomplishment. However, if you continue to avoid tackling these shadow feelings, there is a chance that you will not reach your creative potential or will abandon such pursuits altogether. And that would be a great shame, as creativity is vital for good mental health, well being, and pleasure. You say with the creative, I am creative, playful person. So this makes complete sense. Talking about your past energy, this is asking you, collective, to address yourself as a child. What were you good at when you were younger? What made you excited? What made you feel passionate? What did you want to do that was creative? Was it singing? Was it drawing? Was it coloring? Did you like to write poems, write books, write stories? Tapping back into your shadow, working on your healing, it brings back that creative nature in you, although it also will bring up past traumas. But as you are dealing with those past traumas, hold on to your creativity from a young age as you go through and tap through and feel through those emotions. Connect back with your younger self and your most creative nature. Beautiful. Okay, future energy. We have the snake. The snake asks, how do you feel about past traumas? Okay. In Celtic folklore, healers were often accompanied by snakes. The serpent was revered and invoked to promote healing, protection, and recovery, unlike today when it is mostly feared. Their sinuous, slithery form represented by the fluidity of water, especially streams, rivers, and springs. It appeared wrapped around the necks of ancient Britons as an ornamental piece of jewelry known as a torque, excuse me. Cernunnos, the horned Celtic god of fertility, power, and transformation, was often accompanied by serpents. And the Ouroboros, an ancient Egyptian symbol of a snake with its tail in its mouth, continually devouring itself, then being reborn, is a symbol of the cycle of destruction and recreation. However, in the Judeo Christian tradition, snakes are symbols of evil. This, combined with their link to pagan beliefs, probably accounts for the legend of St. Patrick banishing snakes from Ireland. His act of chasing of them into the sea is metaphorical for Christianity eradicating heathen practices. You say, like the snake, I leave past hurts behind and embrace my new self. Beautiful energy. Beautiful energy. The raven in your present moment is saying, don't fear your healing. Face your fears. Know that you are supported by this raven energy. The creative is asking you to reconnect with that childhood creativity as you work through those past traumas, the disappointments, the letdowns, the abandonment. And the snake energy in the future, as you go through this process, is asking you to go through that death and rebirth, go through that cycle of destruction and recreation, and embrace the new self that is going to be born. One of the reasons many cultures revere the snake is because every year it sheds its skin. This slowing of the old to reveal the new is a metaphor for personal transformation and growth. Working with snake energy enables you to confront the fears and traumas that hide in the shadows, then leave them behind as your new shiny skin is revealed. Beautiful. This is the energy. Where is this coming from? Why are we going through this process to begin with, collective? Where was the origin of our shadow born for all of us? The inner child. The inner child asks, which childhood memory hurt you the most, collective? How do you see your inner child? Is it playing happily and safely without a care, or is it a small and vulnerable and in need of protection? If it is the latter, you may have buried the pain you experienced in childhood to protect yourself now. Understanding and loving your inner child is central to shadow work. Wounds inflicted in childhood can affect adult behavior, which can also lead to unhealthy, unhappy, or abusive relationships, or an inability to connect well with others. The 5 most common inner child wounds are rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, and injustice. As a child, we have little power to heal damage caused by these, but as an adult, we can face them. When your need for love, recognition, praise, and other types of emotional support go unmet in childhood, the resulting trauma can affect your adult life. Ignoring the pain that exists in your shadow, it doesn't heal it. It will resurface. Look it square in the eye, and you are on your way to healing. with the raven energy there to support you. Collective. You say, my happiness is my own responsibility. Nobody can heal this inner child wound that you have, collective. Nobody. You can be with somebody who makes you feel so happy. You can be with a great partner. But if you are not healed, if that inner child is not healed, if they're still triggered by abandonment and rejection and injustice and insecurity, your inner child will find a way as an adult in their behaviors to sabotage something great. It is inevitable. And what are your triggers? Well, let's talk about it with the dancer. What are those triggers from childhood, collective, that still show themselves to you as an adult now? Well, the dancer will give us the answer. The dancer is asking you, collective, when are you self-conscious and how do you overcome it? Pan, the lusty half-man, half-goat Greek god who romped around the hills, woods, and mountains of Arcadia, is dancing and playing his pipes in a magical circle of mushrooms. Pan epitomizes a thoroughly hearty and robust approach to life, sleeping until noon to reserve his energy, then rising to venture forth and find a willing nymph to impregnate. No self-doubt or self-examination crossed his mind. A fertility deity, he was also a protector of animals, mainly because he was part animal himself, as his horns, beard, and goat legs testify. Pan is the forebearer of the horned god, the lord of the woodlands, the hunt, and the animals. The horned god is born at the winter solace, unites with the goddess in marriage at Beltan, and dies at the summer solstice. Other horned male figures include Cernunnos, the Celtic god of fertility, animals, and the underworld, and Herne, the hunter, a dark, chaotic male figure with antlers sprouting from his head. You say, I dance away my uncomfortable feelings. We can take inspiration from Pan and live life more fully without being hindered by the unhelpful shadow traits to reticence and repression. One way to do this is to dance. With the dancer here, you are triggered by your insecurity. Your insecurity that was placed on you as a child. You're not feeling valuable, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you fit the blueprint that your parents wanted, your guardians wanted, the people in your life every day wanted. This is the trigger. This is why there is a sense of insecurity. Your inner child felt this very early, but because it was never healed, it just became how you handle relationships as an adult. Some of you can be an avoidant. Some of you may not be good at expressing your emotions. It manifests in different ways, but at the end of the day, it is the inner child that needs to be healed, to be loved, to feel valuable. And that's only something that you can give to yourself, collective. So what's your inner wisdom advice? I haven't used this deck, you guys, since I started the channel 7 months ago. This was my original deck, so I'm excited to use this and see what advice I can get for you guys. What's the advice for the collective? Wow. So we have security, and it came out sideways. It says, be careful not to be drawn into false senses of security. Security begins only when trust has been established. Some of you guys have fell into relationships, connections with others that made you feel that they would be secure, that they would be able to give you what you needed. And I feel that you were in situations and you are now finding out in this present moment, right now, either recent past or coming up very soon, that you were in a situation that was actually not very secure. But somebody made you feel as if the grass was greener where they laid. They made you feel that there would be abundance and prosperity and growth where you were. Amazing sex all the time, an amazing relationship, right? It looked good on paper, but I feel like you are finding that it was a false sense of security. What's the advice? Yeah, they blinded your perspective in the reverse. Sometimes in life, things become outdated or out of focus. This is a prime time to look at your life from a whole new perspective. They didn't want you with this phoenix. They didn't want you to rise like a phoenix. They didn't want you to go through this death and rebirth. This is why it came out in the reverse. The situation that you are connected to is meant to keep you stuck. It is meant to keep you exactly where you are because that's where people benefit from you the most. So it's important to really look at the situation for what it is, see it very clearly right now, collective. Okay. What's the advice for my collective? Yeah, like I said, because they know that if you go through this death and rebirth, you will break generational curses, and they don't want that. Oh, they do not want that, right? Yep. Confirmation. They want you to doubt. They want you to continue to doubt yourself like you always have. That's that insecurity. That's that trigger. That is what makes you continue to choose the wrong type of partners, stay in unhealthy relationships, second guessing yourself. It only leads to more indecision. You need to trust yourself to do what is best for you, collective, because your heart of heart always knows the answer. You know that. You can feel it. You know intuitively all the time, but you question yourself because people make you doubt yourself. That's where they keep you stuck. That's where they benefit from you the most, when you are in doubt, when you have insecurity, when you have childhood wounding that has not been healed, and they know that you are codependent on them. You got to get out of your head about it because you know the truth. But some of them don't want you to get help. They don't want you to seek counsel, advice. They don't want you to have the right answer. They rather you be stuck right where you are because, again, it's not beneficial for you to be healed, collective. A healed collective is not going to jump when they say jump. Or when they say jump, ask how high. I promise you, the situation walking away from this is not a loss to you. It's not a loss. But let me tell you something. Sometimes we must lose things and people to appreciate them and their value. Then other times we must lose to gain. These people need to lose you to understand the value that you hold, but you have to see that value in yourself first, right? You have to give yourself that love, that value. You don't need to ask for it from anyone else. No, it's yours to give you. So laugh a bit. In the meantime, as you are going through your healing, find a reason to smile, to laugh, to be joyful. This is not about being down and dark all the time. Still live your life, but live it consciously. Bring that subconscious memory, that trauma to the surface and face it so you can laugh at it, so you can learn from it, so you can gain that wisdom that you need from it that'll help you get to the next level. Laughter is a medicine for the soul, so laugh even if it's through your tears, collective. Live your life. Be the dancer. Be courageous. Don't shy away from your healing. Memories. Yes, memories are to be cherished, especially fond ones of friends and family. What is a good memory that will make you smile? See, Spirit is saying yes. Remember the good times. Remember that you've come very far. Think about those things that put you in a good mind space. As you're going through your healing, remember the good things to help you stay focused, help you stay motivated to get to that true place of inner joy that you deserve, collective. Yep, Spirit. Spirit's like, suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup. We all make mistakes in life. We can't always have things our way. And now that you know that, what are you going to do about it, collective? How are you going to change? How are you going to make changes now that you understand? Now that you understand, what changes are you going to make? A few more, please, for the collective. Conquer in the reverse. Today, you are a conqueror. You are able to overcome anything life throws at you. Let's do this. See, right. People don't want you to overcome this. This is the energy. They want you to feel this false sense of security. They don't want you to walk away from them because that's a loss more for them than for you. They don't want you to feel empowered at all. They don't want you to find a reason to smile. They don't want you to remember good moments. They want you to be focused on them. But maturity begins when you can take responsibility for your own actions, for the partners that you choose, for the type of love that you go towards. That is your responsibility. Some of you guys are in solitude right now watching me. Again, because you are in hermit mode, because you are trying to find the wisdom, you are trying to go through your dark night of the soul, and you can't heal where you were broken. So sometimes that means walking away from everyone, people, places, situations. Take time to be alone. Tune out the noise and chaos of the world and tune into your own inner peace. Because a lot of you guys have been afraid to speak your truth. You have been afraid to speak up and say how you truly feel in a situation, especially when it comes to friends and family. That's what I'm feeling strongly. Some of you guys, it is about a romantic partners, marriages, and workplaces, but mostly family, the strongest energy for sure, especially families that are big on tradition and you following the code of everyone else before you, even if it doesn't fit who you are now. It's time for you to speak your truth. Never be afraid to speak your truth. Stand strong. Shade the ground you walk on and never back down from your own morals and beliefs. You know what you feel. You know what's right. You're going along just to go along to be miserable. Who has time for that in life anymore? No one. And they know this about you. They know that you are unique. They know that you are chosen. They know that you are special. They know that you have gifts. See, when the Creator made you, she broke the mold. There is not another person on earth like you. So celebrate being different, collective. Celebrate being different. Don't ever shy away from being unique. Don't ever feel insecure about being unique in any way, shape, or fashion. Whatever that is about you, embrace it because it is a gift, whether that is how you dress, whether that is a spiritual gift, whether that is an art or something creative that you do. It doesn't matter if you can sing, draw, write poetry, write books. If you are motivational, it doesn't matter. Whatever talent you were gifted with, characteristic, just be you. You'll never go wrong, collective. I promise you. I promise you. So let me give you a few messages from your higher self before I close this out. Thank you guys for being here. If you're still here with me, love you guys always. Your higher self got a lot to say. That's a strong energy. It says perspective is a matter of where you stand. Yeah. Like I said, where is that perspective? Perspective. Didn't it come out? It came out, right? They didn't want you to have a different perspective of yourself, collective, because you haven't. There you go. See, in the reverse. So the energy of the people around you, they want your perspective to not feel as if you can heal, that you can have a death and rebirth, that you can rise like the phoenix. See, but your higher self has a different message. Perspective is about where you stand. Reach for your dream knowing that it's already coming true. Don't be afraid to reach for your goals. Don't let other people stop you from believing in things that you're able to do that deep down in your heart make you feel joy and happiness. When people put doubt in your mind, you realize that that's them projecting onto you because they're somebody who didn't reach for their own goals, right? Because they were insecure. They don't want to see you rise to the occasion. They don't want to see you accomplish anything or be successful. When a new door opens, walk through it and begin again. Some of you guys are having an opportunity right now to start over, to walk through a different door, to start a new chapter in life. Don't be afraid to walk through it, collective. What you seek is seeking you. When you rest, it will find you. Slow down that overthinking mind that you have right now, that fear that you have, that you've lived with, that you've allowed to create your steps. Fear has led you. Fear has made you walk and make decisions that you've been making for a very long time. But understand that what you want, it wants you too. But you have to slow down. Give yourself the confirmation to go towards it. Become confident enough to go after it, to choose it. A few more, spirit, from the higher self. You've had the power all along. Now you just need to believe it. Thanks for the confirmation, spirit. I love when you guys have my back. You've had the power all along. Now you have to believe it, collective. One more, please. One more from the higher self. Beautiful. You are a magical being with the whole universe waiting to assist you. They're waiting to assist you, collective. I love you, spirit. Thank you for the confirmations for the collective. They're waiting on you to choose you, collective. Anything that is happening in your life right now, understand that everything is unfolding as it should be. It may seem chaotic. Some situations are going to be tougher to get through and deal with. But understand that on the other side of it, just like on the other side of your healing, after the caterpillar goes through that transformation, that metamorphosis, it turns into something beautiful, right? The pain is creating beauty. That is what life does. It challenges us so it can create something beautiful in us. And when something beautiful in us is awoken, you create something beautiful in your external world. Collective, thank you for being with me on Shadow Work Series Part 1, the Shadow Work Oracle. Thank you, collective, for your continued support. And thank you for allowing me to continue to support you. I love you guys to the moon and back. If this message resonated, I would love to know about it in the comments, or just put me some hearts in the comments if you actually heard this message through. Thank you for connecting with me. I will see you guys in Shadow Work Series Part 2. And until next time, you guys, bye.